slaves to the agenda. Let me give you a recap of everything the media has obsessed about last year and the beginning of this year, and how they gave us a narrative about some subject, and they were wrong about those things. And how they reacted in being wrong. And this is what is interesting to me. And not only the media, but also the different groups. So Jussie Smollett was walking in the freezing night with minus I don't know how much in American Fahrenheit, but way less than zero, sub-zero temperatures in Celsius in Chicago, when he got beat up by two MAGA hats wearing racists. They put a noose around his neck, and then there was an outpour of emotion and of, oh my God, we're so sorry for you. Oh my God, how can people do this? Oh, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And a day or two after, the details of the whole thing started being strange. And a lot of celebrities already put their tweets, already put their whole, it was madness. And people crying, people saying that with you, people calling him my son, etc., etc. And police saying there's something strange in your whole thing. And like, we call you, you open the door with the rope around your neck, like, and then we discovered that the two people who put bleach on him and call him with homophobic slurs and etc. were actually two Nigerian guys that he hired themselves. He hired himself. He hired them himself. And now everybody's like, oh shit. And time goes by, trial, and he's finally judged guilty of lying to the people, lying to the police, lying to the taxpayers who paid the police to do his whole operation, and hiring people to just stage a hate crime just for the benefit of himself, his career, his ego. I don't know. Nobody knows what goes in the mind of people. But hey, listen, he still says he's innocent. So maybe, who knows? Ma soeur en Christ, Julie, what up? So our guy here is faking a hate crime and continuing to pretend he's a victim. And most people don't believe him. Some people are like, we're not sure. And some people, they want to believe him because, they love him, because X, Y, Z, only them know. And very interestingly, everybody who has said all these things, right? All these things to say about the crime, about how horrible it is, and you know, insulting whoever. All these people disappeared after that. Another story. One person who was supposed to go to prison told the judge and told society, I'm a woman inside. Don't look at my penis and my balls. Inside I'm a woman, so I cannot go in a man's prison. It's gonna be dangerous for me because I'm a trans, etc., etc. And so everybody listening to their emotions and being like, yeah, listen, we have to protect him, even if he has to go in prison. We have to do something about it. And so they put him in a prison only for women, when her and the other woman can be together as women. And he magically put 2 of those women pregnant. Yo, c'est compliqué. We had when the Me Too movement started, I'm good, I'm on fire as well. You know, when the Me Too movement started, so we had, you know, in France we always have like the copycats of the movements of of America. So we had the movement of Me Too, and it's a great movement, finally liberating started on Twitter, and the woman's voice have been liberated. A lot of men asked themselves, oh shit, maybe it was a good learning moment for everybody. It was important to hear the side of what women feel about all these the work environment and what they go through day by day. And in France, they had they didn't call it moi aussi. They decided to call it balance ton porc, which is like snitch your pig, I guess, where people were doing the same thing. So it was a French version, and you had that journalist who said that she had been harassed at work by her boss, and the man lost everything. He lost his job, his wife divorced, his daughter stopped talking to him for 2 years, calling him a rapist, etc., etc. And there's nothing you could do at that time, because the movement was so powerful and was so crazy. It was so based on raw emotion and the realization that a lot of people are in suffering, and all these years could not say nothing, and women are not defended and not believed, that anybody that had a story, people went crazy and would go, and people would lose their job. So like in France, a lot of people lost their job, and in the US, same thing. A lot of people lost their job, and nobody could, like, no, it's not, don't even say it's not true. Like it was not like the what? But wait, let's see, because everybody's innocent until proven guilty. There it was, what? Oh, he's guilty. Let's go. Fire him. And I think on 99% of the cases, I mean, even if I believe that justice has to be served the right way. What up, Joel? What up, cousin? I hope you're good. Even if I believe justice has been served the right way, and like, you're still supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But with those movements, people were just, yeah, one tweet, you're guilty. That's it. Bye. You lose everything. And that guy, the French, it was the CEO of a French channel, lost everything. And then he attacked that woman for moral prejudice and for defamation, because, like he said in the trial, how can I harass you at work when you never worked for me? You never even work in the same organization as me. We just met one day in a big cocktail with, you know, like those cocktails with a lot of TV people that was maybe some, you know, sometimes they get together for something. And at this conference that we met, after having a conversation, I just sent you a text telling you that, yo, those boobs are nice. I would, yeah, you're the type of girl that I would. And the guy was a little drunk. I mean, so she turned that into, oh, I don't sleep at night anymore. And a lot of guys could not say what they really felt at that time. It was like, but that's all you need to feel like you've been morally raped? And yeah, that's all they needed. And that's all the whole world needed to, and the TV station to, for this guy lose his job, etc. And the judge, I mean the advocate asked the girl, the woman, sorry. So did you ever work for that person? She said, no, but you know, no, listen to the question. Did you ever work for that person? Was he ever your boss? Because you said on your tweet that you didn't say anything because you were scared to lose your job because he was this big shot that is your job, your boss, etc. But did you ever work for that person? Did you ever work in that organization? And she said no, but she's listening. So she lost her trial and she had to pay the guy $20,000, which is nothing compared to the dirt you put on somebody's name, right? And at that time, yeah, it was already too late to tell the guy, oh, sorry for what we did. Everybody already moved on to the next thing, because this is the news cycle today. If everybody accused you of something because somebody said something about you, it's over. You have that mark forever. But once you are proven innocent, nobody comes and put the same energy in saying, oh my God, we were wrong. And what we're seeing now with the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp is the whole world realizing that, again, they took an emotional decision, especially Disney, Warner Bros., like those big companies. They're so scared to be seen as insensitive to a certain groups, that they will not even wait for the allegations to be true or to be proven, and they will fire you because, yeah, you stink. And the more and more the trial, that whole vaudeville that is being played in front of our eyes, the more and more we are assisting to this whole debacle. To more and more, people are like, hey, what up? Sirène des îles, merci beaucoup. À la prochaine, bonne soirée de fatigué. So you're just passing by? Thank you so much for supporting the show. Always, Sirène des îles, thank you so much. So me, as I'm watching this trial, I was saying to myself two things. First thing I'm saying to myself is like, okay, first, listen. Johnny's legal team is top notch, and Amber's legal team, they seem to be lost in the whole translation, and she seems to improvise stuff and not follow whatever guide that they gave her, and they always have to try to find a way to cover up for that. But I guess Johnny's not doing this for the money. He's doing this to clean his image to the public and to show the world that you can have all the money in the world and you can have everything, and you need to meet one bad person. And in the last 5 years, especially when this whole movement exploded, you could lose everything if somebody could use all the rules of all the little things of that book against you, because nobody wants to think when it comes to this. There's certain words that just finish the conversation. And my question here for that is not really that I have anything against all these movements, BLM, LGBT, Me Too, feminism, Afrofeminism, Africanism, Pan-Africanism. Like, I have nothing against none of these movements. I think they are important, and I think they are doing an important job. But from all the stories that I've been telling you, what I'm seeing as I read the media, I'm seeing that, for example, when it comes to Amber Heard, everybody that is leaning to the left, that is part of those movements, instead of saying, yo, we believe our girl because, like, yeah, we were emotional and we want to believe when somebody says that she's a victim, and okay, maybe we should have thought about it a little bit and check, because she had a history and etc. Like, and we knew it. Like, we just took her story and we ran with it and we destroyed the life of somebody. And now instead of that, they're saying like, yeah, this whole thing, the fact that it's on the media and everybody's doing TikToks around about it, this is wrong for the real victims, or this is wrong for the victims, because it is making light and fun of domestic abuse. And me, I'm like, wait a minute, how can you spin it like this? Because what it is showing is that the people don't believe her. That's it. And some people in the comments are saying, listen, I'm a victim of domestic abuse. All of us have people around us that we know that have been victims. So nobody's making fun of this. I mean, most people, they're making fun of somebody that is clearly lying for them. And I believe the reason why a lot of the media, traditional media, is losing the trust of people is because when they make a mistake nowadays, nobody is saying we made a mistake and we are sorry. And I believe that the movements like Me Too, the movements like the BLM, the movements like the LGBT, the trans community, like all these movements, they are important. It's important that they have a voice. It's very important. It's important that they have some power so that they can put the fist on the table when they have to. But they are showing that they are young as movements, and they were not ready for so much power, because they let people use the agenda for their own personal gain. Jussie Smollett, that woman from the Me Too movement, who started the movement in France, Meghan Markle and her racist claims, and with, I mean, half of the people believe her, the other half they're like you just discovered black people, like Amber Heard and many other people. I personally believe that those people are more dangerous to all these movements than other. I mean, they're dangerous for victims if they are liars, and they all seem to be. All their stories make no sense. And you know, if you want to be a leader, you have to be able to assume when you were wrong for backing the wrong person. It's very, very, very important to be able to say, we believed her, we believe that she was a victim, and that's why we, etc. But yeah, maybe we should have checked before we fully backed her and we put her everywhere, etc. But because people are slaves to the agenda, and people are scared that if they concede that, okay, we were wrong to believe that person, they believe, because of their agenda, and because all these groups are almost religious cults now, they believe that if they say, okay, we were wrong about that person, it will invalidate the rest of the millions of people who are real victims. And they don't see that the fact that they're not saying this is actually making it harder for the rest of the victims to be believed by the rest of the people. Because the rest of the people are like, wait a minute. So when you have Jussie Smollett completely lying, all you people are silent. We don't hear you. You don't make the noise you did when you thought that he was a victim. You should make the same noise so that people see that, yeah, you can condemn your own when they fail. When they fail, because they're not failing us, they're failing you. But in a world where people are giving you the responsibility and people are giving you power, if you don't have checks and balance, this is what happens. This is what happens when anybody can wake up. Listen, all of us, singers, actors, dancers, and normal people, if one X wakes up tomorrow and makes up anything, say, oh, it was horrible, this, blah, 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 you're going to lose everything you have, because everybody is looking for somebody to believe, because they need to have those angry emotions. They need them. The dopamine, they need them. So you say anything, boom, they all jump on you, and you might be like, wait, I didn't do what? 15 years ago? Who? What? It can be somebody who just is looking to use you, and there should be somebody to be there to make sure that you are not being lied upon. It's important. And I've been telling you about the pushback. The year of the pushback is now. And it's just because most of these people have proven that they cannot assume when they were wrong about somebody. And if you can't, then why should we trust you? They cannot assume when the Dave Chappelle thing happened after his show, and all the trans community started saying, yo, no. We don't like these jokes and they are dangerous to us. What about everybody else? Like, everybody can start saying we don't like the jokes, they are dangerous to us. And nobody came to tell them, calm down, chill. Well, did you see what Netflix told all these people? Netflix said, listen, I'm not your dad. And here, it's work. You can have all your emotions. Listen, we are trying to include everybody. We are trying to do shows for the left, shows for the right, shows for lesbian shows, gay shows, put like some. I watched a movie, a series with my wife about trans people in New York. It was amazing. It was a great show, and actually, yeah, to me, it was not about the fact that the people were trans. It was more like, yeah, it was a great story. It was like so emotional. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name, but it was really about like a ballroom, the family's mother stuff. It was so nice, and yeah, it was on Netflix, and because I love this culture. So if people are trying to include you, and because they should, but now you want to control everything else that those people do. Those people at a point will tell you, yo, you're messing with my money. I'm trying to respect you, but I have to respect everybody else as well. And being with you doesn't mean that I have to be against everybody else. And you have to stop being capricious about things. And all these people, they use the Dave Chappelle thing to move their agenda forward until Netflix told them last week. Well, it's simple. Here, it's a sports team. It's not your family. We're here to create content for the customers and every customer. And as whatever you feel personally, some things you will not like. It's normal. You're on the editorial team, or you do makeup, or you write stories. Some things, they don't go with your values, and it's normal. It's TV. Like if some people love manga, some people don't understand manga. Some people think it's very violent. Some people think it's a strange thing with women. And some people, they love it. They're obsessed with it, and it's everything to them, and they understand the subtleties, and they understand the Korean culture, the Japanese culture, the Chinese culture, depending on if you watch dramas, manga, or Chinese kung fu, or movies in general. Like, all these cultures are different, and when you work for us, you're not here to just force everybody to see everything through your lens. Some things you will not like. And if you are not able to work for us and forget about your agenda when you come work for us, maybe Netflix is not the right place for you. In other words, the door is here. And if you're not happy, take the door. Bye. Same thing happened with Joe Rogan when CNN lied about him. When he had COVID, he took ivermectin, which is a medicine that is some doctor. So his doctor told him, yeah, you should take that. It will help you in the beginning phases. And everybody, CNN, who sponsored by Pfizer, was saying, nah, he shouldn't take that. He has 1 million followers. He should not tell them he's taking that. And they said he's taking medicine for horses. When it's not true. You have a version for animals, a version for humans. The version for animals is stronger, of course, and the version for humans is dosed for us. And this is the one he took. So when you come and say, yo, he's taking things for animals, this is a lie. And when he can prove that you lied, instead of saying, okay, we made a mistake and we're sorry, you continue to say, well, ivermectin for animals exists, right? Okay, so that's what was said. People are not stupid. And of course, if you only want to talk to the people who are inside of the religion, yeah, it works. They will all hate Rogan. You will make him pass for what he's not. You will be there. You will say stuff about people, and the people who drink the gospel will just drink the gospel. But a lot of the people are going to start to be like, same thing for the Me Too movement in France. If when one of your people is a liar, you have to say something. If not, the people are going to look at your movement like. Same thing for the LGBT and Jussie Smollett. If you don't try to have your checks and balance and also punish the people who use your movement for their personal gain, if you don't do it because you're scared to lose your credibility, you are actually losing your credibility to, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but for people like me, you're losing it. Because because listen, in France, every time there's a terrorist attack, everybody's asking in the TV, yo, the Muslims, why you don't say nothing? Why you don't say that you disagree with this? And they're like, yeah, we're French too. Like, of course we disagree. Why we have to say something? Everybody disagrees. No, you have to say something because it's your religion. Well, I said Allah. You know what it means? It means peace on you. And so they make this whole thing on the mainstream media that ostracize a part of French people. But when it goes in the other side, when there's a Catholic person doing something crazy or something else, they don't ask all the Catholics, like, say something. Or he was a Buddhist. Buddhist, Kaysha, we don't hear you on the subject. Maybe it worked back in the days, but in 2022, a lot of us, we check mainstream media, but we also check so many sources of information, and a lot of people is because they don't believe you anymore. They don't believe you anymore because, especially the last 2 years, there's been a lot of things that have been said about COVID, and to their discharge, a lot of people didn't know. They didn't know nothing. It was new. So some people came and said something, and then media was pressing them so much about whatever they said 2 weeks ago, and things were changing fast, that everybody was like, oh yeah, but no, what I meant is like, and everybody's trying to never be wrong. The people that believe are the people who said, when they say something, they say, I could be wrong. Listen, when I say I don't believe Jussie Smollett, or I don't believe Amber Heard, or I don't believe Meghan Markle, I always say I could be wrong. I don't feel that I believe them. That's what they make me feel. And the way they act, and even the facts, the arguments, there's nothing in there that make me be like, yo, that's crazy. You see what I mean? And it feels like people are so emotional, they want to be convinced of something, and when they go on one direction, they're like, I will never change. Like, I'm going there, I'm going like extremely on that direction. So they cannot come back anymore because they yelled so much, they tweeted so much, they were so crazy about it that if they come back a little bit, they're gonna feel ridiculous. And that's why, to me, I'm like, I don't believe, but I could be wrong. So I can come back here. Listen, if somebody proves me that it was wrong, I'm gonna be like, oh, listen, sorry for not believing. I was wrong. There's nothing wrong in being wrong. Being wrong is healthy. That's how you learn. That's how you become a better person. That's how you construct a better judgment. You start asking yourself, was I right? Was I right firing Johnny Depp if I'm Disney? Was I right firing Johnny Depp and keeping Amber Heard? Maybe but because she was seen as a victim, it was better to give her some roles. That's the problem. And now that you are seeing her, you are seeing the evidence, you are seeing everything, you are like, yo, we were wrong. We were super wrong. Disney should say, we're sorry. Yeah, we took the wrong call. We are victim of the agenda. We slave to the agenda. Same for Warner Bros. They should tell him, official letter, we are sorry. And yeah, listen, we all believed somebody because, at that time, we never thought that somebody could use this for their own personal gain. As if people haven't been doing this from the beginning of the world. It's interesting how, we are creating these movements for good reasons. And interestingly, most people today are using them for the wrong reasons. And they are trying to push different agendas. And they are losing us. And when I say us, I mean the 70% of the population that are not extremist about things. And interestingly, you have people from both sides who are trying to eat as much people as possible. And are trying to turn everybody into extremists. And I don't know how you want to have conversations with people about whatever subject if you accuse them of the worst thing from the get-go. That's not how you move together as a planet, or as a country, or as a street, or as neighbors. It's something that I find very interesting And it's something that I've been saying for, and I've been telling this to a lot of friends of mine who are activists, who are activists for causes like, I have a lot of, I talk to some trans friends, I talk to some LGBT friends, I talk to some people in the Afrofeminism sphere in France or in different countries of the world. And when we have those conversations, in the beginning, they push back. They just push back. They're like, but. And I'm like, no, listen. I'm not talking about the 99% cases where you are right. I'm talking about the 1% or 1 of 1,000 or 1 of a 10,000th time that you are wrong. You have to say it. It's important. Maybe not for you, but it's important for the rest of the people who are listening to you guys. Because that's how, if you show responsibility, you're going to have people who are going to be like, yeah, those are good people. When they're wrong, they say we were wrong. When they support the wrong person, you can say, we've been fooled. It's okay to say we've been fooled. Or we just, we run with the thing because we really, and oh damn, what did we do? Are we so sorry, Mr. Depp? Or we're so sorry, Mr. X? Or all this, it's important. It's called checks and balance. If not, this is what's going to happen. What's happening right now is, in my opinion, from what I can see from my vantage point, it feels like people are starting to take back some of that power. And those big corporations that are running the world are starting to not be afraid anymore to tell you to eat shit. They're starting to tell you, well, listen, you're not happy, you don't have to work here. Because we are trying to, we're tired of all the scandals for nothing. Listen, we know you're here, we see you, and we know that we're trying to not offend you. But sometimes, a joke will offend you or something or whatever. And it's okay. This is why it's called a joke. And look, he's talking about you for 20 minutes. There's another 1 hour. He's talking about the rest of everybody. He has horrible, crazy joke about the space Jew joke. I was like, yo, you didn't hear the Jews. He had something about Asian people. He had something about like, so why you want to be like a protected species? That's not how it works. If you want to be included, you have to also be included in the jokes, and it's okay. And I'm happy because I've seen an interview of some trans people, and actually some friends of mine who are trans that I talked to. They were like, it's not really offensive. But you have, in every group, you have like these part of the people who just want to be extremist about everything. And listen, the time of the pushback is starting to come, and I believe that people, and I'm saying this as a person who want them to succeed, all of them, I have to start assuming also when you make a mistake or when somebody is using it. And don't be a slave to the agenda, because the more you do it, the more the pushback is going to be crazy. At a point, people are going to be like, yo, you know what? You don't know how to use the toys? No more toys for you. Like we do with the kids. So stop acting like kids, become teenagers and go through adulthood, because we need those movements. We need those movements to be believed and to be respected. And they won't be if some of you, like, you buy a house with the money of the movement, somebody has to say something. It's just an opinion.